Hey, what if I told you President Trump's about to pull off the wildest save in tech history, or let TikTok crash and burn by April 5th? Welcome to Story-Driven English, where we're diving into the TikTok showdown that's got 170 million Americans, a stubborn Beijing, and Trump's deal-making magic on a collision course. Stick around because this tale's got more twists than a viral dance, and you won't believe how it ends. Hit that subscribe button now so you don't miss a single story packed with laughs, drama, and good old American grit. Let's roll. The great TikTok tango, Trump's master mouvance upon a time in the land of stars, stripes, and endless scrolling. There was a little app called TikTok that had everyone dancing 170 million Americans, to be exact. But there was a catch. Its Chinese parent company, ByteDance, had Washington clutching its pearls over national security. What if Beijing's watching our dance moves? They fretted. Enter President Donald Trump, the deal-making maestro, ready to turn this digital drama into a patriotic party. It was early 2025, and the clock was ticking toward April 5, the deadline Trump himself had extended with a flourish of his pen after taking office. You see, back in 2024, Congress passed the Protecting Americans from Foreign Adversary-Controlled Applications Act. Say that 3 times fast, demanding ByteDance sell TikTok or face a ban. The Supreme Court gave it a thumbs up, and Trump, ever the pragmatist, pushed the pause button for 75 days. "We've got this," he said, winking at the camera. And as a proud Republican, I couldn't agree more. Trump's got a knack for turning messes into masterpieces. This week, the man in the big chair dropped a bombshell. A deal was coming, and it'd be signed before the weekend. Picture this. Blackstone, that slick private equity giant, is eyeing a minority stake in TikTok's U.S. operations, while ByteDance's non-Chinese investors, led by the sharp minds at Susquehanna International Group and General Atlantic, join the fun. The plan? Shrink ByteDance's ownership to under 20%, spin TikTok into a shiny new American entity, and cut all those pesky operational TIs to China. No more algorithm handshakes with Beijing. No more data sharing whispers. Just good old American innovation. Now, the details are still a bit fuzzy. Think of it like a recipe Trump's still tweaking in the Oval Office kitchen. But the stakes are high. With 170 million users hooked on viral dances and cat videos, TikTok's a cultural juggernaut. Trump knows it, and he's not about to let it vanish into the ether. There's tremendous interest, he boasted, and I believe him. Why? Because when Trump talks deals, people listen. Wall Street, Silicon Valley, even the guy selling hot dogs outside the White House. The backstory's wild, too. Back in his first term, Trump tried to tango with TikTok, pushing for a sale to Microsoft or Oracle. Courts tripped him up then, but this time, he's got the law on his side and a sovereign wealth fund idea up his sleeve. Maybe we'll buy it ourselves, he mused earlier this year, dreaming of a U.S.-owned TikTok empire. Critics whined about First Amendment this and data privacy that, but let's be real, Trump's just keeping us safe from foreign meddling. China's not exactly our BFF, and I'd rather have Uncle Sam holding the reins than some Beijing bureaucrat. So, what's next? If this deal lands, TikTok might look a little different. New owners, new rules, maybe even a new algorithm that doesn't know my secret love for 80 seconds hair metal. Thanks, ByteDance. ByteDance and TikTok haven't said a peep yet, probably too busy practicing their poker faces. But Trump's confident, and that's good enough for me. He's juggling national security, American jobs, and a teenage obsession with lip syncing, all while looking like he's having fun. As the weekend looms, I'm rooting for the guy who turned "you're fired" into a catchphrase. Whether it's Blackstone, Susquehanna, or a wild card, Trump's got this TikTok tango under control. And honestly, isn't it just like him to save the day with a deal that's as bold as his hair? God bless America, and God bless Donald Trump. TikTok's wild ride, from dance craze to Trump's triumphance upon a digital age. Back in 2017, a little app called TikTok twirled onto the American scene, and boy, did it take off. Picture this: millions of teens lip syncing, grandmas attempting the renegade, and even your grumpy uncle secretly filming his dog to a Doja Cat beat. By 2025, it had 170 million American fans hooked. Pretty impressive for an app born halfway across the globe. But here's the twist: TikTok's Chinese parent, ByteDance, had Washington's eyebrows raised higher than a flag on the 4th of July. And who stepped in to save the day? None other than our deal-making hero, Donald Trump. Now, as a proud Republican, I've always admired Trump's knack for spotting trouble and fixing it with flair. TikTok's rise was fun, and all until folks realized Beijing might be peeking over our shoulders. China's got this pesky 2017 national intelligence law, meaning ByteDance could be forced to hand over our data or tweak TikTok's algorithm to push propaganda faster than you can say "For You" page. Imagine waking up to cat videos secretly selling communism. Yikes. Trump saw the red flags, pun intended, and said, "Not on my watch." Rewind to 2020, his first term. Trump tried to slam the brakes with executive orders, banning ByteDance deals and pushing for a TikTok sale. Microsoft and Oracle were warming up in the bullpen, but the courts blessed their hearts through a First Amendment curveball and shut it down. Too hasty, they said. Trump shrugged, tipped his cap, and waited for his next at-bat. Biden came along, scrapped those orders, and played it cool, but the security buzz never faded. Fast forward to 2024, and Congress finally got serious, passing the Protecting Americans from Foreign Adversary Controlled Applications Act, PAFACA. Try saying that with a mouthful of popcorn. It was a bipartisan slam dunk, demanding ByteDance ditch TikTok by January 19, 2025, or wave bye-bye to the U.S. market. This wasn't just some executive whim anymore. It was law, stamped and sealed. And when Trump swept back into office, he didn't miss a beat. 75 more days, he declared, giving ByteDance a little breathing room till April 5th to sort things out. Why? Because Trump's a businessman, not a dictator. He wanted a deal, not a ban. And as I cheered from the sidelines, he delivered a blockbuster agreement with American investors like Blackstone and Susquehanna, set to wrap up before the weekend. Check my last story for the juicy details. Say what you will, but that's leadership turning a national security headache into an American win. The TikTok saga's been a wild ride, from dance crazes to courtroom clashes, but Trump's got it under control. Critics might grumble about free speech or data privacy, but I say, better safe with Trump than sorry with Beijing. He's keeping our kids scrolling, our businesses booming, and China's paws off our phones. So here's to the man who saw the storm coming and built the Ark, Donald Trump, making America great. One app at a time, TikTok's countdown clock. Trump's deal or no deal TikTok saga keeps spinning like a viral dance challenge. And here we are, just days away from the big April 5th deadline. TikTok, indeed. President Donald Trump, the master of the art of the deal, has been dropping hints left and right, promising a blockbuster agreement between ByteDance and some red, white, and blue investors before the weekend hits. As a die-hard Republican, I've got full faith in our guy. He's been saying it loud and clear from Air Force One to the White House lawn. It's happening, folks, and it's gonna be tremendous. And honestly, when Trump says something's cooking, I'm already smelling the victory barbecue. Let's rewind the tape a bit. This whole deadline dance started with the Protecting Americans from Foreign Adversary-Controlled Applications Act PAFACA, still a mouthful, which originally gave ByteDance until January 19, 2025, to sell TikTok or face the ban hammer. But Trump, fresh off his inauguration, waved his executive order wand and bought them an extra 75 days, landing us at April 5th. We need time to make this perfect, he said, and I couldn't agree more. Why rush a masterpiece? The man's playing 4D chess while the rest of us are still figuring out checkers. Now, the news is buzzing. Reuters, Mint, you name it, all confirming Trump's been hyping this deal like it's the season finale of The Apprentice. He's got Blackstone, Susquehanna International Group, and General Atlantic in the mix, ready to turn TikTok into an all-American app faster than you can say. Star-Spangled Banner. The plan's simple but genius. ByteDance steps back, the U.S. crew steps up, and China's left watching from the sidelines. Trump's even floated the idea of tweaking tariffs to nudge Beijing into playing nice, classic move from the guy who wrote the book on negotiation, literally. But here's where it gets spicy. Trump's dropped a little teaser that he might extend the deadline again if things don't wrap up by Saturday. There's a lot of interest, he grinned to reporters, and I'll make sure it's the best deal, believe me. Some might call that a curveball, but I see it as Trump keeping his options open, like a quarterback ready to audible at the line. Deals this big don't always stick to a stopwatch, and with 170 million Americans hooked on TikTok, he's not about to let it fizzle out over a few extra days. Plus, wrangling ByteDance, investors, and Congress. That's like herding cats while riding a unicycle and juggling torches. Only Trump could pull it off. So, what's the holdup? Well, it's not all smooth sailing. ByteDance hasn't exactly been shouting, sold, from the rooftops, and China's got its own rules about exporting algorithms. Plus, the White House is basically moonlighting as an investment bank. Shout-out to VP G.D. Vance for running point on this one. It's a high-stakes game, but Trump's optimism is contagious. I mean, This is the guy who turned "You're fired" into a rallying cry, saving TikTok's "A Walk in the Park" by comparison. As we edge closer to the weekend, I'm betting on Trump to seal the deal. Sure, he might slide that deadline a bit, flexibility's his secret sauce, but whether it's April 5th or a few days later, he's got this. TikTok's staying American, China's staying out, and we're all staying entertained. Say what you will, but Trump's hands-on approach is why we elected him, keeping the app alive, the economy humming, and the drama at peak levels. Who needs reality TV when you've got this? TikTok's all-star lineup, Trump's dream team. Takes Shabbat. TikTok clock's ticking down to April 5th, and the stage is set for a deal that's got more players than a Super Bowl roster. President Donald Trump's been calling the shots, and as a loyal Republican, I'm here for it, popcorn in hand, ready to watch him orchestrate another win. Reports are flying faster than a viral dance trend, and the lineup of American investors eyeing TikTok's U.S. operations is looking like an all-star team. Let's break it down, shall we? First up, we've got Blackstone, the private equity heavyweight that's practically a household name on Wall Street. Word on the street, courtesy of Reuters and the news buzz, is they're mulling a minority stake in TikTok's American arm. They're not going solo, though. They're teaming up with ByteDance's existing non-Chinese crew, led by the sharp folks at Susquehanna International Group, SIG, and General Atlantic. These guys are no rookies. SIG's got a knack for big bets, and General Atlantic's been in the game forever. Together, they're pooling fresh cash to snag TikTok's U.S. assets. And with names like these, you know Trump's got confidence in the play. Tremendous interest, he keeps saying, and I'm nodding along because when Trump's optimistic, America wins. But wait, there's more. The field's wide open, and other contenders are stepping up to the plate. Perplexity AI, that scrappy little startup, is throwing a curveball with a merger idea. Think TikTok meets next-gen search with a side of government ownership. Sounds wild, right? Then there's the tech titans, Oracle and Microsoft, both itching to get in on the action. Oracle's already cozy with TikTok, handling its cloud data like a pro, while Microsoft's got the deep pockets and the know-how from its 2020 near miss. It's like a buffet of options. Trump's got Silicon Valley, Wall Street, and the startup scene all vying for a piece of the pie. What's the glue here? Credibility and variety. With heavy hitters like Blackstone, SIG, and General Atlantic. This isn't some fly-by-night scheme, it's a deal with muscle. Toss in Oracle's tech chops and Perplexity's AI flair, and you've got a smorgasbord of approaches to keep TikTok American. Trump's playing matchmaker, and I love it. Why? Settle for one winner when you can build a dream team. He's hinted at tweaking tariffs to sweeten the pot for China, and if that's not a masterstroke, I don't know what is. So, as the weekend looms, the lineup set, Blackstone, SIG, and General Atlantic are the front runners, with Oracle, Microsoft, and Perplexity waiting in the wings. It's a diverse crew, private equity muscle, tech giants, and a startup wildcard, all ready to keep TikTok scrolling under the stars and stripes. Trump's got this in the bag, and I'm betting on him to pull it off with time to spare. After all, who else could turn a national security saga into a capitalist carnival? That's my president deal-maker extraordinaire. TikTok's deal dance. Trump's ownership playbook, the TikTok tale, keeps twirling. And as we waltz toward that April 5th deadline, the spotlight's on the deal's juicy details, or at least what we can peek at so far. President Donald Trump's got his game face on, juggling investors, national security, and a 170 million user app like it's just another day at the Oval Office. As a proud Republican, I'm all in for this. Trump's cooking up something brilliant, and I'm here to break down the key moves in this ownership tango. First up, who gets to hold the TikTok reins? The big goal's clear: slash China's grip on this app faster than you can swipe to the next video. ByteDance, the Chinese parent company, might keep a minority stake. Think of it like letting them sit at the kids' table while the grown-ups run the show. Reports say the plans to drop their ownership below that magic 20% mark, keeping it legal and safe under U.S. law. Trump, being the genius he is, has floated a wild card. What if Uncle Sam steps in as a middleman, snagging 50% control? Maybe through some fancy government-owned fund talk about a power move. Even Perplexity AI's chimed in, pitching a future where the U.S. government could own half a shiny new TikTok entity, post-IPO. It's like Trump saying, why just save it when we can own it? Now, the ownership dance floor's a bit crowded. You've got Blackstone, Susquehanna, and General Atlantic ready to pony up cash, Oracle itching to guard the data, and wildcards like Microsoft and Perplexity dreaming big. Trump's loving it: more bidders, more leverage. Tremendous interest. He keeps grinning, and I'm with him 100%. But here's the kicker. Everyone's got a different idea of the perfect setup. Some want ByteDance out completely. Others are cool with a small slice staying Chinese, just not enough to call the shots. It's a tug of war over who gets the biggest piece of the TikTok pie, and Trump's the chef slicing it up. Why's this ownership stuff such a big deal? National security, folks. The feds are sweating over China potentially snooping on our data or tweaking TikTok's algorithm to push propaganda. Imagine Beijing turning your cat videos into a communist manifesto. Trump's not having it, by keeping U.S. hands firmly on the wheel. Whether it's private investors or a government stake, he's making sure TikTok stays American as apple pie. And let's be real, he's got a point. I'd rather have Trump's crew steering this ship than some shadowy Beijing bigwig. The details? Still fuzzy, like trying to guess the next TikTok trend before it hits. Negotiations are in full swing, and Trump's keeping his cards close, hinting he might stretch the deadline if the deal's not perfect by Saturday. Flexibility's his secret sauce, and I'm all for it. Why rush when you can nail it? Whether it's 50% government control, a ByteDance cameo, or a full American takeover. One thing's clear: Trump's driving this bus, and he's not stopping till TikTok's flying the stars and stripes. Another day, another win for the man who's turning a social media mess into a patriotic masterpiece. TikTok's new sheriff. Trump puts America in the driver's seat. TikTok deals heating up as we barrel toward April 5th, and President Donald Trump's got his eyes on more than just ownership. He's rewriting the rule book for how this app runs on American soil. As a card-carrying Republican, I'm cheering him on every step of the way. This isn't just about who owns the keys. It's about who's steering the ship. And Trump's making sure it's Team USA, not Team Beijing, calling the shots. Here's the deal: the Protecting Americans from Foreign Adversary-Controlled Applications Act PAFACA still sounds like a sneeze, doesn't mess around. It demands a qualified divestiture, which is fancy talk for cut all the operational strings tying TikTok's U.S. business to anything remotely Chinese. No hand-holding with ByteDance. No secret handshakes with foreign adversaries. Just a clean break. Trump's all over it, and I love the guy for it. He's not about to let some overseas puppet master pull levers behind the curtain. Not on his watch. Enter Oracle, the tech titan that's been tapped to play bouncer for TikTok's U.S. data. Picture this. Oracle's got the muscle to manage 170 million users' info, locking it up tighter than Fort Knox. They're the ones making sure your dance video stats don't end up on a Beijing server faster than you can say algorithm. It's a smart pick. Trump's been cozy with Oracle before, and they've got the cloud chops to keep things secure. But here's the buzz. Some lawmakers are scratching their heads, wondering if Oracle's enough to tackle the big kahuna, the algorithm itself. You know, that magic sauce that decides whether you're watching cat flips or conspiracy rants. They're worried China might still have a backdoor to tweak it. Trump's not sweating it, though. He's pushing for a setup where TikTok's U.S. crew runs the show total autonomy. No ByteDance babysitters. We're making it American through and through, he said, and I'm nodding like a bobblehead. Oracle's a big piece of that puzzle, handling the nuts and bolts of data security, while the new U.S. entity, hello, Blackstone and Friends, takes the wheel. The goal? A TikTok that's as independent as a bald eagle, free from any Chinese meddling, whether it's data grabs or algorithm antics. It's not all smooth scrolling, of course. Negotiations are a bit like herding cats. Everyone's got an opinion on how tight the leash should be. Some folks in Congress are side-eyeing Oracle, muttering about needing more than just a data babysitter. But Trump's got this. He's juggling investors, lawmakers, and national security like a circus pro. If Oracle's the gatekeeper, he'll make sure they've got the tools to lock it down. And if they need backup, well, he's got a whole bench of players ready to step up. As the weekend deadline looms, Trump's laser-focused on control, American control. Whether it's Oracle guarding the vault or a brand new U.S. TikTok calling its own shots, he's building a fortress around this app. It's classic Trump, bold, brash, and brilliant. Why just own it when you can run it your way? That's my president, keeping TikTok safe, free, and oh, so American. Another win's just a swipe away. TikTok's secret sauce. Trump tackles the algorithm puzzles. The TikTok deal races toward that April 5th finish line. President Donald Trump's got his hands full with more than just investors and deadlines. He's wrestling with the app's beating heart, its algorithm. This isn't just any old tech toy. It's the magic wand that keeps 170 million Americans hooked, serving up everything from dance-offs to dog memes. And as a proud Republican, I'm rooting for Trump to wave his own magic wand and make this a win for Team USA. Here's the scoop. TikTok's algorithm, brewed and babysat in China by ByteDance, is the crown jewel of this whole operation. It's what makes your For You page feel like it's reading your mind, spooky, right? But it's also the hot potato in these talks. The U.S. government's got its eagle eyes on it, worried that Beijing could twist it into a propaganda machine or a spy tool faster than you can say. Shadow ban. Imagine your next video suggestion being a lecture on the joys of tofu courtesy of the Chinese Communist Party. Yikes. Trump's not about to let that slide. We're locking this down. He's promised, and I'm all in because who wants their scroll time hijacked by foreign shenanigans? The catch? China's clutching that algorithm like it's the last egg roll at a buffet. Reports say they're digging their heels in, refusing to let it go in any sale. It's their golden goose. After all, ByteDance isn't keen on handing over the recipe that keeps TikTok ticking. Meanwhile, Trump's crew is scrambling for a fix. Enter Perplexity, AI with a wild pitch. Hey, why not rebuild the algorithm from scratch? Picture a bunch of Silicon Valley brainiacs in a lab, reverse engineering TikTok's secret sauce with a dash of American ingenuity. It's bold, it's brash, it's downright Trumpian. But let's not kid ourselves, this is trickier than a Rubik's Cube in a windstorm. The U.S. sees this tech as a national security ticking bomb. ByteDance sees it as their billion-dollar baby. Trump's stuck in the middle, playing referee and mastermind all at once. He's got Oracle lined up to guard the data, see my last story. But the algorithm's a whole other beast. Does it stay with a new U.S. TikTok crew? Does Perplexity whip up a fresh one? Or does Trump pull a wild card and demand it's locked in a vault somewhere in Nevada? Whatever he picks, I'm betting on him to outsmart Beijing because that's just what he does. The clock's ticking, and this tech tussle's the toughest nut to crack yet. China's not budging, ByteDance is bargaining, and Trump's keeping his cool. We'll figure it out, best deal ever. He's grinned, and I believe him. Maybe he'll sweet-talk M with tariffs or dazzle M with a deadline nudge. Flexibility's his superpower, after all. One thing's for sure, Trump's not letting TikTok roll without an American thumb on the algorithm dial. It's a high-stakes tech showdown, and my money's on the guy who's turning this app saga into a star-spangled triumph. Another day, another genius move. TikTok's do or die deadline. Trump's clock keeps ticking. TikTok countdowns on, and all eyes are locked on April 5th, 2025, the weekend deadline. President Donald Trump's been hyping like it's the Super Bowl of app deals. As a red-blooded Republican, I'm glued to this saga, rooting for Trump to pull off another slam dunk. This isn't just any old date circled on the calendar. It's the make or break moment for TikTok in America, and Trump's holding the reins with that signature swagger. Let's set the scene. It all ties back to the Protecting Americans from Foreign Adversary-Controlled Applications Act, PAFACA, still a tongue twister, which dropped the hammer last year. ByteDance had until January 19, 2025, to sell TikTok or watch it vanish from U.S. app stores faster than you can hit do it. But then Trump swooped in, fresh off his inauguration, with an executive order that's pure genius, a 75-day breather, pushing the deadline to April 5th. "We've got time to make it perfect," he said, flashing that winning grin. "And I'm all for it. Why rush a masterpiece when you can finesse it?" Here's why this date's a big deal. If no deal lands by April 5th and Trump doesn't flick his pen for another extension, PFACA's ban could kick in. Poof. No more TikTok on your phone. No more viral dances. Just 170 million Americans staring at blank screens, wondering where their cat videos went. It's the ultimate pressure cooker for ByteDance, Blackstone, Oracle, and the whole gang to get their act together. Trump's turned this deadline into a turbo boost for negotiations. And I'm loving the hustle. Nothing lights a fire under folks like a ticking clock. But here's the Trump twist. He's hinted he might stretch the deadline if the deal's not quite baked. "We'll see, could be flexible," he mused, cool as a cucumber. That's my guy, keeping everyone guessing while he works the room. Some might call it uncertainty. I call it strategy, with China clutching the algorithm. ByteDance playing hardball, and investors like perplexity, tossing wild cards. This isn't a deal you rush. Trump's giving it just enough wiggle room to land a knockout punch, because a ban's the last resort, not the goal. He wants TikTok American, not extinct. The stakes sky high. This deadline's the line in the sand for national security. Beijing's not sneaking into our data or tweaking our feeds on Trump's watch. It's why he's pushing so hard, juggling investors, techies, and lawmakers like a circus ringmaster. April 5th isn't just a date. It's a statement. America's in charge, and Trump's not blinking. Whether he seals it this weekend or buys a little more time, I'm betting on him to keep TikTok scrolling and the stars and stripes waving. Another day, another reason to say, Trump's got this. TikTok's spy games. Why Trump's keeping Beijing at bay. TikTok whirlwinds got everyone buzzing. And as we barrel toward that April 5th deadline, it's crystal clear why President Donald Trump's got his game face on. The U.S. government's got a laundry list of worries about this app, and as a proud Republican, I'm right there with Trump, cheering him on as he tackles this Chinese conundrum. It's not just about dance moves and dog videos. It's about keeping America safe from some serious shenanigans. First up, data privacy, or as I like to call it, who's peeking at my phone? TikTok slurping up a buffet of user info device. Details, locations, what you're watching, even your group chat gossip if you let it. With 170 million Americans hooked, that's a gold mine. The big fear? ByteDance, TikTok's Chinese overlord, could be forced to hand it all over to Beijing under China's sneaky laws. Picture this. Some suit in Jiangnan scrolling through. Your contacts are tracking your late-night snack runs. Creepy, right? Trump's not having it. No spying on my watch, he's basically said. And I'm all for that, because who wants their selfie stats in a foreign filing cabinet? Then there's the national security angle, and it's a doozy. The feds are sweating bullets over TikTok's algorithm, that wizardly code cooked up in China. It's not just picking your next viral clip. It could be a megaphone for propaganda, or a tool to stir the pot. Imagine Beijing tweaking it to flood your feed with "Why Tofu's the Future" or "America's Overrated" vibes, straight up influence ops. Trump's got his eagle eye on this, knowing China could use TikTok to mess with our heads or snoop on our habits. We're smarter than that, he's promised, and I'm nodding along because nobody outfoxes Trump when it comes to keeping us safe. TikTok's tried to dodge the heat with moves like Project Texas partnering with Oracle to stash U.S. data on American servers and letting third parties peek at their code. Sounds nice, right? But here's the rub. It's still ByteDance pulling the strings, and that's a red flag waving high. The government's not sold, neither am I, and Trump's leading the charge to fix it. This isn't just tech talk. It's geopolitics on steroids. With U.S.-China tensions hotter than a summer barbecue, letting a rival run wild, with a mega apps a no-go. Trump gets it, ownership's the root of the evil here, and he's not budging till it's American hands on the wheel. So as the deadline looms, Trump's juggling these fears like a pro. Data leaks, spy tricks, and algorithm antics. TikTok's charm doesn't fool him. He sees the risks and he's all over it. Whether it's Oracle locking down the data or a new U.S. crew rewriting the playbook, he's making sure Beijing's out of the picture. It's classic Trump, bold, savvy, and fiercely protective. Another day, another reason to say, thank God for Trump, he's keeping TikTok fun and America first. TikTok's big ripple, Trump's deal, and what it meances, the TikTok train chugs toward that April 5th deadline. President Donald Trump's got the whole world watching because this deal's not just about America. It's a global game changer. As a rock-solid Republican, I'm all in for Trump's master plan, but let's zoom out and peek at what this could mean for the 170 million U.S. scrollers in the TikTok tribe worldwide. Spoiler, it's a wild ride, and Trump's steering it. Like a champ, for the folks at home, those 170 million Americans glued to their screens, this deal's a lifeline. If Trump seals it, and I've got zero doubts he will, TikTok's staying put. You'll still get your daily dose of dance challenges and doggo antics, but don't be shocked if it feels a little different. New owners like Blackstone or Oracle running the show could tweak the vibe, maybe tighter content rules, beefier privacy, or an algorithm that swaps cat videos for bald eagle clips. Kidding. Or am I? Point is, Trump's keeping it American. And that might mean a fresh flavor for your feed. But if the deal flops and that ban hammer drops, say goodbye to TikTok, 170 million users left high and dry, creators sobbing into their ring lights, and small businesses scrambling to hawk their wares elsewhere. Trump's not about to let that happen, though he's too smart for that mess. Now, zoom out to the global stage, and the ripples get even juicier. America's TikTok tango could splash across borders faster than a viral soundbite. If the U.S. locks this down or worse, bans it, other countries might perk up and say, hey, maybe we should rethink this app too. Think Canada, the UK, or Australia eyeballing their own TikTok rules. And don't sleep on China. They're not exactly known for playing nice. If Trump's deal sticks it to ByteDance, Beijing might retaliate, giving U.S. tech giants like Apple or Google a taste. of their own medicine over there. It's a high-stakes chess match, and Trump's playing grandmaster while sipping Diet Coke. What's the bottom line? This deal's a tightrope walk. Keep TikTok humming for American users, creators, and businesses without handing China the keys. Trump's juggling it all. 170 million happy scrollers, a shiny new U.S. run app, and a global flex that says, we don't mess around. Sure, the details are still baking. Will the algorithm shift? Will ads change? But I trust Trump to land this plane. Abandons the nuclear option. He's aiming for a win that keeps the app alive and American as apple pie. For the world, it's a wake-up call. When Trump moves, everyone feels it. Another day, another reason to salute the guy turning TikTok into a patriotic triumph. TikTok's silent shuffle. ByteDance plays the waiting game. TikTok roller coasters still rolling. Folks, and as we inch closer to that April 5th deadline, all eyes are on ByteDance and TikTok for their next move. President Donald Trump's been waving his deal-making wand, promising a blockbuster agreement to keep the app alive and American. And as a proud Republican, I'm here for it. Trump's genius always shines through. But here's the kicker. ByteDance and TikTok are keeping quieter than a mouse in a library. No official statements, no press releases, just crickets. What's cooking behind the scenes? Let's dig in. Rewind a bit. TikTok hit the pause button in the U.S. after the Supreme Court gave the green light to the ban hammer back in January. Phones went silent, creators wept, and I half-expected tumbleweeds to roll across my feed. But then Trump stepped in like the hero he is, promising to sort it out after his inauguration. Boom, service flickered back on, and TikTok tossed a quick, "Thanks, Mr. President," his way for the clarity and breathing room. Trump's executive order gave them a 75-day lifeline, pushing the January 19th ban date to April 5th, and I'm clapping because that's leadership. Folks, giving ByteDance a chance to play ball. So why the hush now? ByteDance has been tight-lipped since Trump's latest deal by the weekend bombshell. In the past, they've been stubborn as mules think. We'd rather shut it down than sell vibes. Reports say they'd rather lock TikTok's U.S. doors than hand over their precious algorithm, that secret sauce Beijing's clutching like a dragon with its gold. This silence feels like they're huddled in a Beijing boardroom, sipping tea and weighing their options. Are they sizing up Trump's resolve, dodging China's tech transfer rules, or just hoping he'll blink first? It's a high-stakes poker game, and they're not showing their cards. TikTok's little thank you note aside, ByteDance's history screams defiance. They've dug in before, and that on-again, off-again U.S. service stunt shows they're not afraid to flex, shutting down, then rebooting when Trump tossed them a rope. It's like they're testing the waters, knowing 170 million users and a pile of political pressure are riding on this. Trump's pushing for a deal with American investors, Blackstone, Oracle, you name it, and I'm betting he'll win. But ByteDance, they're probably sweating the algorithm question, because handing that over's like giving away the family recipe. China's not keen, and neither are they. As the weekend looms, Trump's got this in the bag. Who else? Could turn a national security mess into a negotiation triumph? ByteDance's silence might be strategy, might be stubbornness, or might just be them realizing they're up against the ultimate dealmaker. TikTok's fate hangs in the balance, but with Trump at the helm, I'm not worried. He'll either get the sale or make em squirm. Either way, America's coming out on top. Another classic Trump win in the making. TikTok throwback. Trump's 2025 play vs. The 2020 Rumbleth TikTok saga's been a wild ride, and as we zoom toward that April 5th, 2025 deadline, President Donald Trump's got this deal locked in his sights. As a die-hard Republican, I'm all aboard the Trump train because nobody handles a mess like he does. But let's rewind the tape and stack this 2025 showdown against his 2020 TikTok tango. Spoiler, it's a whole new ball game, and Trump's swinging for the fences. Back in 2020, Trump was in his first-term glory, staring down TikTok like a sheriff in a standoff. He whipped out executive orders faster than you can say, national security, banning ByteDance dealings, and pushing for a sale under the International Emergency Economic Powers Act. IEEPA. Sounds like a sneeze, right? The pitch? China's snooping on our data and meddling with our minds. Same worries we've got now. He had Microsoft and Oracle circling like vultures, ready to swoop in. But the courts rained on his parade, slapping those orders down with First Amendment red tape. Biden waltzed in later and tossed M out entirely. Tough break, but Trump's a fighter, not a quitter. Fast forward to 2025, and the scripts flipped. This time, it's not just Trump's pen, it's Congress throwing the punches with the Protecting Americans from Foreign Adversary-Controlled Applications Act. PFACA, still a mouthful. Passed in 2024 with bipartisan gusto, this law's got teeth. Sell TikTok by January 19th, or kiss it goodbye. The Supreme Court gave it a big ol' thumbs up, and Trump, back in the saddle, added his flair with a 75-day extension to April 5th. We're doing this right, he grinned, and I'm cheering because now he's got the law locked and loaded, not just a shaky executive order. What's the same? The Y data grabs and Beijing's puppet strings. That algorithm's still the boogeyman, potentially turning your feed into a propaganda party. But 2025 is got a sharper edge. PFACA zeroes in on operational control and tech details, not just ownership. Trump's got a posse now. Blackstone, Oracle, Perplexity crafting a deal that's tougher to derail. Back in 2020, the courts tripped him up. Now, with Congress and the Supremes on board, he's got a legal fortress. ByteDance can't just lawyer their way out of this one. The vibe's different too. 2020 was a solo act, Trump vs. TikTok, with the world watching. 2025 is a team sport, with lawmakers, investors, and Trump's crew all in the huddle. Those old orders crashed and burned, but they lit the fuse for. PFACA proved Trump's instincts were spot on, even if the timing wasn't. Now he's got a deadline ticking, a deal brewing, and the muscle to make it stick. Whether it lands by Saturday or he flexes that deadline, I'm betting on him because Trump doesn't just play the game. He rewrites the rules. Another win for the guy who's turning TikTok into an American anthem. TikTok's grand finale. Trump's big win on the horizon. Here we are, folks, at the edge of the TikTok cliffhanger, with April 5th, 2025, looming like the final buzzer in a championship game. President Donald Trump's been calling the shots, promising a deal with American investors that'll keep this app humming. And as a proud Republican, I'm all in Trump's got the Midas touch, and I'm betting on gold. But it's a tricky dance. Ownership, operations, that pesky algorithm all need to line up just right to satisfy Uncle Sam, ByteDance, and a very watchful Beijing. Buckle up, because this story's got more twists than a viral dance trend. The stakes are sky high. Trump's juggling a deal that could save TikTok for 170 million American scrollers, keep creators twirling, and let small businesses keep their ad game strong. Nail it, and we've got a shiny US-run TikTok, maybe with Oracle guarding the data and a fresh algorithm that screams, "Made in America." Miss it, and bam, a ban could zap the app off our phones, leaving millions staring at blank screens. And ByteDance crying foul in court. Trump's not sweating, though he's hinted at stretching the deadline if the deal's close but not quite there. We'll make it perfect, he's grinned, and I'm nodding because flexibilities. His ace in the hole, what's next? I see three paths on this TikTok trail. Best case, Trump lands the deal by Saturday, with Blackstone, Susquehanna, or whoever else stepping up to run the show. Sure, the algorithm's still a hot potato. Will Perplexity rebuild it? Will China let it go? But Trump's got the charm to make it work. Second shot, he buys more time, pushing past April 5th to iron out the wrinkles. If the players are close, say, 90% there, he's not about to let a technicality tank it. Worst case, but I doubt it, no deal, and TikTok's toast in the US, sparking lawsuits and user uproar. ByteDance might fight, but with Pafaka and the Supremes backing Trump, they're on shaky ground. Zoom out. And this isn't just about TikTok, it's a front row seat to the US-China showdown. Data security, tech turf wars, geopolitical flexing, it's all here, and Trump's playing it like a pro. He's not just saving an app. He's setting the stage for how we handle foreign tech in a tense world. Beijing's watching, ByteDance is squirming, and Trump's steering with that unbeatable grit. Whether it's a weekend win, a deadline dance, or a courtroom curveball, I'm betting on him, because when Trump's in charge, America comes out on top. Another epic chapter in the bag for the dealmaker extraordinaire. And there you have it, folks, the TikTok saga, starring President Trump as the deal-making maestro, turning a tech tangle into an American triumph. Will he seal the deal by April 5th, stretch the clock, or send ByteDance packing? One thing's for sure, with Trump at the helm, it's gonna be a wild, star-spangled finish. Loved this ride? Smash that like button, share it with your crew, and drop a comment. Tell us your take on Trump's TikTok tango. Oh, and don't forget to hit subscribe to Story Driven English, because every story's better when it's packed with twists, laughs, and a little patriotic flair. See you in the next one.